Hey gang, how we doing out there? Huh? Everybody good? Well, thought I'd work on getting you out another video. And man, been in T.N.T. and it's been amazing. Man, a lot to think about. A lot to think about. We got a beautiful country out here. We got a beautiful country. You really, should, at some point in time in your lives, get out there and see what this country really has to offer. Just spectacular. I'm here at a Petro right now, about getting ready to do one of my favorite pastimes. If you don't know, I'm an addict of the game of pool. Been playing for well over 30 years. Just love the game. So I want to talk about a couple of things. Something, I want to talk to you about empowerment, empowering yourselves. And why did I get into trucking? As I've mentioned, I have a very diverse background. I've been fortunate in my life. In many respects, and struggled in others, like many of you. I have found the world of employment to be a vicious cycle, and honestly, most employers, they really don't treat you you're not part of their long-term game. Get paid a certain wage. You work hard, take pride in what you do, and try to be the best employee. And there's a lot of struggles regarding that. So, over the course of time, I've kind of developed a philosophy. See, you don't really need to start a business. You already own a business. Okay? It's the business of you. Okay? And if you think of yourself as a business entity, okay, that means treat yourself like a business. Okay? What does your business offer? Well, it offers your services, right? Your capabilities. Okay? How do you represent your business? How do you sell your business? When you go into a application process, really what's happening here, right, is you're dealing with a manager or a supervisor of a particular business. They are in turn looking at you, right, to see whether or not you can do what they need to get done, right? Their job is to be sure that all the check boxes are getting completed, right? So you're there to fill that position. Well, if you think of yourself as a business and treat yourself as a business entity, really what's happening is your business is signing an agreement with their business to say that your business will take care of X, Y, and Z, whatever that may be. Okay? And at any point in time, right, you can terminate that contract, that agreement, just like they can, and just like they will. You know, if you continuously meet and exceed those that criteria, then you will continue doing it. Now, if your business decides, well, they're not paying my business enough now, you know, then that's a position you need to consider. All right, but just like any business, you have overhead. Okay, you have retail space. That's your house, your apartment. Okay, you have transportation costs. And you look at all of those expenses as business expenses. Okay, just mentally review them, or view them as a business would. Okay, now your job is to manage your business, right? So you need to manage that business. So, and what is one of the biggest things that a business needs to operate on? Profit margins. If your business is not making, you know, quality profit margins, then your business will struggle, right? So the least amount of profit margins you're making, all right, you need to live, or your business needs to be under whatever income your business is bringing in. Okay, so if any of that makes sense to you all, okay. What happens when you go through this philosophical process is you will find that you are now empowering yourself. Okay, why? Because now you have taken ownership of your business, and when you do that, okay, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily matter, right? What the other business is wanting or doing. You have expectations for your business. I can tell you, I have terminated more business contracts than the other way around. I can assure you of that. But it's very empowering. So, but you know, you need those contracts so that your business has income and has revenue, right? So you can't just, you know, cancel one contract without having the other contract ready to go, you know? So, taking some of that into consideration and compartmentalizing things in this manner have helped empower me to make better decisions. And so we'll get into, brings me to a couple of things. One is, I had been doing seasonal employment, and I had never heard of seasonal employment until a buddy of mine told me about an opportunity in Alaska working for Princess Cruise Lines. I was like, oh man, that's a cruise? Oh no, they have land-based operations, big hotels and lodges throughout the interior of Alaska. I'm like, oh wow, okay. So that's how I went up there as a food and beverage supervisor. Managed that for 3 seasons. Found a job down in Key Largo, Florida. Worked at a really exclusive private members club. When I say exclusive, big players. So all these places will put you up with housing and food and a job, and the beauty of that was the high profit margins, because, well, housing was either cheap or free depending on where you're at. And there's these locations all over the country. They're in Colorado, they're in Sun Valley, they're in Maine, they're in New Hampshire, they're in Massachusetts, they're in Florida, they're in Alaska. That was a really empowering moment, because now I was dealing with not a job where I had my apartment and had high overhead, where I had to pay electricity and cable and drive to work every day and all of that. I had low overhead, which meant my business now had high profit margins, okay? Because everything that I was making was profit. So that's how I got kind of onto the tangent about owning your own business, okay? It also brings me to trucking. I've had several great relationships in my life, and for whatever reason, everything's got a story, right? But in any case, I don't own a house. I don't drive expensive, fancy car, so I don't have a car payment. I love my car. My car is, if you ask me, I got one of the best cars ever made, but I don't have a car payment. It's a 96 model, I just keep up with the maintenance, and she runs forever, getting into trucking, I started looking at those high profit margins. You're basically on the road for, well, as long as you can bear it. It's really up to you. If you're married with kids and a house at home and a house payment and all of that, well, those are your overheads. That's the cost of you doing business. That's what it costs for you to do business. But if you're rather young, and when I say young, I mean if you're like 28 to 35, this is a great career and a great way for you to stack some checks. Got to figure, you're in the truck all the time. You're traveling all over the country or wherever, depending on the company that you're with. Some companies are more regional, like rail transport. They don't operate like Prime, where we're all over the country. Not that they can't go all over the country, from my understanding, but the majority of their network is through the Midwest and Texas to Wisconsin, things of that nature. We're Prime. We're all over the country. I haven't been to a place and not seen a Prime truck. We're definitely a very large company and well respected at that. But if you came into trucking and you put in, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you don't have to have a place and go home. You can be like, hey, Mr. Dispatch Manager, I'd like to take some home time. Can you start working me towards Las Vegas? Or can you start working me towards Miami, or start working me towards San Diego, wherever you want to go, and go take your home time there, get you a hotel, spend as much or as little as you want, manage your business to the best of your ability. And, I'm not saying that it doesn't have some rough spots in this industry, right now I've got laundry going, and, about ready to hit some balls, and just kind of wanted to take a minute to break down some thoughts regarding, but, you are making 80% profit margins in this industry. The cost of you being out here, you eat when and where you want, pretty much. You're eating at a lot of truck stops, but go to a nice truck stop, you get some really great meals. Got this game room here, some pool tables. Got a Galaga machine over there. I mean, I haven't played Galaga in forever, So, you're dealing with high profit margins, and anytime your business can operate with high profit margins, 70, 80% profit margins, well, a lot of businesses are chomping at the bit to operate under those circumstances. So that is how and why I decided to get into trucking. And I don't know if I laid my case out well for you or not. It's a rather complicated philosophy. I can understand. But to me, it makes sense. I just wanted to kind of share some of those thoughts with you. Seize your business. Manage your business. Be a business manager. Be a business owner. Treat yourself like an entity. And then you will start looking at your profit margins, and you'll be looking for ways to cut those costs. You want a new car? Well, why? You have a car. If you don't have a car, then okay, you want to buy a car. How much of a car are you trying to get? You want to go get a BMW? Why? That's a complete waste of money. Go get yourself a Toyota Camry, or go get yourself a Honda Accord. Good on gas, does the same thing a BMW does, costs less, maintenance is better. No, manage your business properly. Be conservative, with your expenditures. And because I guarantee you, when you go in to apply at a business, they're looking to get you as cheap as they can, right? Okay. You need to start thinking that way too. You need new shoes? Why do they have to be Nikes? If you're doing it just because everybody else is, it's some sort of status thing, well, I don't call that good business management. I mean, do what you want to do. But I'm all about profit margin, and stacking that cash, and then I can worry about what I want in life and what I want down the road, and the place I want to buy, and the things I want to do, and the places I want to go, and all of that stuff. So anyway, like I said, I don't know if I laid out my case as effectively as maybe I would like to have, but I wanted to share this thought with you guys as I do my pacing. I want to thank everybody for all their support on my channel. all the feedback. The questions are great. I'm almost done with T.N.T. I'm at like 28,000, 29, something like that. I'm like real close. We'll see what happens from there. You know, like I said, I want to stay on Obi-Wan Kenobi's truck for a little bit longer, but we'll see what happens, because he's got a business to run too, and there's profit margins regarding that, you know. So, you know, everything's a business decision. It's another beauty thing. It's nothing becomes personal anymore. Everything becomes a business decision. So, all right, I think I've rambled on long enough. Wish you all the best. Hope you all are being safe. Y'all be good. Thanks for stopping. I'll be putting out more videos and more content as I get finished up here with T.N.T. God bless y'all. I'll talk to you soon.